Hello everyone, in this video I will do one lab. In this lab we will have two VLANs, VLAN 10, VLAN 20, two routers that will be acting as router active and router standby using HSRP. This is for VLAN 10, and for VLAN 20 router 2 will be standby and router 1 will be active. After that we will have one router gateway going to through cloud and then going to the telecom. So let's go and start with the exercise. I will use the new file. Let's make first the lab, set up the lab. Switches, two switches here. After that, router 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this, a little bit lower. Will be okay. Will be okay like this. One cloud. And let's take the colors. This one looking good. This is for the VLAN 10 color. This one should be for VLAN 20. And then one color for our configuration path. So 192.168.10.0/24, it's VLAN 10. Router 1 active router HSRP, router 2 standby router HSRP. Here router 2 will be active and router 1 will be standby. This is one redundant network, so it'd be nice if you want to use for school example or some project. It will be very good for one redundant network example. So let's go move on. First task will be set pieces like that. Pieces IP. Second task will be VLANs, to VLANs setup. Third task, trunk interfaces. Fourth one will be HSRP on router 1 and router 2. Fifth, cloud. 6.1 IP addresses. On routers 77. OSPF will we do, and 8 test network. Like that, looking nice. So let's, I forgot the first one, let's to be 0. So set up lab. Let's go start with the cables. One more thing. Fast internet 0/. 0/1 fast internet. Let's take the 6 fast internet 9 or 8 like that, from 1 to 8 to be VLAN 10. If we add more PCs, then just you do need just to set up on the switch. You don't need to manually each command to type, so it's better. So VLAN 20 fast internet /dev 9 what fast internet /12 fast internet /16 from 9 to 16, and you have then from 16 to 23 you can use one more VLAN if you want to add to this network exercise, whatever. /24 we'll be using for this interface here. Let's connect PCs and switches. 1 6 8 9 12 and 16. Looking good. Let's move on the to connect the routers and switches with cables. So use the copper straight through cable 0/1 0/1. Nice. Let's go connect for the redundant network all of that. So /2 0/2. So here is the /1 gigabit 0/1, and this interface here is /2. So let's gigabit 0/1 gigabit 0/1, and here will be gigabit 0/2. 1 is enough because all of these 4 interfaces are gigabit /2. Now write the IP addresses. 2.1 will be virtual IP address for this router and for this VLAN. So /24 is. This one will be 192.168.10.3/24. So this will be one interface for VLAN 10, and this will be standby interface for VLAN 10, this one interface. So let's go move on for VLAN 20, 192.168, another IP address. Now it's 22.1 will be for HSRP virtual IP address, and the next one interface will be from this switch to this router. So this will be this standby router. 92.168.20.3/24. I forgot to here mention that. Like this, and connect the routers now. Gigabit 0/0, and he will be 0/0 0/1. Gigabit 0/1 gigabit 0/0, and here is gigabit 0/0 both on both interfaces. 0. So IP addresses 192.168.1.0/30. Here we'll be using /30 mask because we only need 2 IP addresses to connect these 2 routers. and one from broadcast IP address and one from network. Second IP address, and this is all. Now you need to connect the cloud. Before that, I want to this is IP. No, I will continue with set up the lab. So let's move on. On this router, he don't have the serial interface. If you want to connect serial 0 to out to gigabyte, it will not work because you need to add the serial port. So here should be the HVIC, right, is Cisco to port serial 2 port serial high speed WAN interface card providing 2 serial ports. So let's go. Now should be working. Serial 0. Oh, I didn't add it. My bad. Good. Now let's switch on. Serial/0. Serial 0/3/0. And on the router 3. Switch off. Now using the same model. Switch on. Connect the on serial 1. Serial 0/3/0. I will be using the same because it's easier to configure and to remember. Serial/0 serial 1. And here is serial 0/3/0. Looking good. Let's name the switches. S1, S2, router 1, router 2, router gateway. This is cloud, that's cloud, or cloud, example cloud internet. Now router, let's name it router telecom. And here will be need one IP addresses. Let's use this one. /30. It's okay. Now set up the IP addresses on PCs. 168.10.1 is taken because this will be virtual IP address. 2 is taken, 3 is taken. So let's go with 4. I will copy just this one. Router default gateway should be 1. And good. Let's go move on to another PC. /5.1. Third PC. 6. And let's go on the VLAN 20.4 because 2 is taken, 3 is taken, 1 is taken by the virtual IP addresses. We already get the subnet IP address. So let's go use it the default gateway. 5. And another one. AC should be 6. 4, 5, 6. Yes. Yes, sir. And that is all I think for this first task. Now let's move on to VLAN. Add pieces to VLAN. So enable config terminal. Let's name it S1. And interface range. fast internet 0/1-8. So if you want to add 2-3 more pieces, we just can add these pieces and use one command to add that PC to switch. That is all. So let's go switch mode access VLAN 10, and this is all. We configured all of this interface with one command. Let's go type VLAN 20 because we need to communicate later with this pieces, and if this switch maybe want to use this direction for switch, this switch should be know what is the VLAN 20. Okay, let's go to move to the switch 2. So enable config terminal, hostname S2, interface range fast internet 0/9-16, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. As you can see here, the internet connection is trying to be established, and then VLAN 10 exit. We have here from 9 to 16 VLAN 20, and in future we can add 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 is already taken. So if you want to add more VLAN here, like example, then you can just do it. But you probably need one more interface for one more router, because if this router don't have more interfaces, you can maybe add. You can see you have some model, because it's not available more ports for gigabit connection. Or you can use, probably here is another router who can add more gigabit connection. This one don't have. Oh, this one had one. Could be probably working. This is fitting ports. Probably we will need to use one more router, or just use another model of router and then add a port. So let's move on. VLAN is done. So let's move on trunk interfaces. Let's go. We need trunk interfaces because we want to, let's move this. We want without trunk interfaces, this VLAN configuration will not work through these interfaces, and because of that we need trunk interfaces. So let's set up it. Interface gigabit 0/1 switch port mode trunk. Now exit. Interface gigabit 0/2 switch port mode trunk. Nice. Interface fast internet 0/24 switch port mode trunk. Change state to up. Exit. It's working. These two don't work for now, because you need to enable the interface on router 1 and router 2 because of that. So let's move to the switch 2. Interface fast internet 0/24 switch port mode trunk. Exit. Interface gigabit 0/2 switch port mode trunk. Exit. Interface gigabit 0/1 switch port mode trunk. Okay, let's up this interface, all of this interface. Let's move it up. So first one, host name, this is router 1, interface gigabit 0/1 switch port. Interface is run. Yes, no shutdown. Interface gigabit 0/2, no shutdown. And these two interfaces, no. Enable config terminal, host name router 2, interface gigabit 0/2, no shutdown, and then move on interface gigabit 0/1, no shutdown. Okay, this is done. Let's move on to HSRP on router 1 and router 2. This is a little bit tricky, but nothing special. So let's do it. Interface gigabit 0/1.10, because this is the sub interface of VLAN 10. Encapsulation.1q 10. IP address 192.168.10.2, 255.255.255.0. So this IP address is for this one interface. I'm going here. Okay, this is for the router IP address. So static. But now we need to set up HSRP virtual IP address. So let's go standby 10, because this is name it 10 because this is VLAN 10. IP 192.168.10.1. So we'll be now using 1 for the virtual IP address. Standby 10 priority. Let's name it 110. More number is higher priority. So 100 is lower priority, 110 is more priority, 120 is more priority. So let's use that. Standby. We can see that already standby is going to active. Standby version 2. And standby preempt. Now wait from the init to go with again active, because this is important. This router needs to be active. Okay, now we get from standby to active. Let's move on the router 2. So this one router is active router for VLAN 10. Now we are moving to router 2 on this interface to be the standby. If this interface fails, we'll be using the another interface. Because of that, I will write the command standby preempt, but I did it wrong. Late moment gigabit 0/1.10 standby preempt. Need to standby 10 preempt. Need to write this command, and now to show standby. As you can see here, gigabit internet 0/110 group 10 state is active, preemption enabled. This preemption enabled. If this router fails, this router will be now starting to act as active. If preemption is not enabled, this router will be stayed active even if this router again is working properly. So if this router is working properly and preemption enabled, he will be again start to be router active, or router router active. So preemption enabled, and standby router is unknown. This should be standby router on this one interface. So let's move on. Don't talk too much. Interface gigabit now 0/2 0/2.20 encapsulation dot moment interface. My bad. Interface. No no interface. Waiting. No interface. Gigabit 0/2.20. Interface gigabit 0/2.10. Now .10, not 20, because it is VLAN 10. encapsulation.1q10, AP address 192.168.10.3, 55.55.55.0. So on this one interface, this is the IP address, like this, on this side. Okay. Standby 10 IP without address 192.168.10.1. So the same IP addresses is like from this router. They have the same IP virtual address. That is not possible normally, but only possible if you're using HSRP. So standby 10. Priority, default priority is 100, but I will type this command anyway. So you have the lower priority. And standby version 2. Now, not configure the preempt because I don't want this router to be preempt. So waiting for speak init to go to the standby. If this router is standby, all is working good. If this router is active, that is not good. So as can I see the speak going to standby, and that is good. Do show standby. State is standby, group is 10, that is all good. Preemption disabled, very important. Active route is 192.168.10.2. That means this one is active router. Priority 100, default is 100, and that is all. It's working. So let's ping. Now it should be all ping one and another. That is not problem, but if this traffic is going to this router, for example, or this one, that needs to go to this one router, not this one. And if this one router fails, then should be using router 2 path. So let's move on the next task. That is HSRP on router 2. Now this router should be active router from VLAN 20. So interface, first this one interface, gigabit 0/1.20, now it's 20. You can name it whatever you want, but if you're using 20 for VLAN, then I'm using gigabit internet 20, standby 20, because it's easier to remember. And for anyway, it's easier. So interface gigabit 20, okay. IP encapsulation.1q20, IP address 192.168.20.2. So this one. So 55 to 55 to 50. Standby. Now I will be using standby 20, group 20, IP address 192.168.20.1. So 20.1 will behave this router. Now standby 20, priority 110 or 115. I will name 10. And standby version 2, standby preempt, standby 20 preempt. And now this router should be going to from speak init to active for VLAN 20. Good, standby to active, it's working. Do show standby. Now this is frozen group. Frozen group, that is what we configured before. We can see here this preemption is disabled, active router is this one. So this is the first group, and second group is this one. Gigabit internet 0/1.20, it's good, state is active. Now this router is active. Virtual IP address is this one, router 20.1, and preemption is enabled. So we have two configurations here. Now let's move on router 1. Let's configure this one interface, second interface. and this router will be standby. So interface gigabit 0/2.20 encapsulation .1Q20 IP address 192.168.20.3 sorry, this one interface 192.168.20.3. okay, standby IP standby 20 IP 192.168.20.1. so this one .1 and this one .1 same virtual IP address. Let's go standby 20 priority 100. Now this will be standby and version 2, standby version 2, and preemption we don't need on this one router. This one router need to go to the from the speak unit to the standby. So wait, I hope so that it will work. You can hear the speed up the practice time, but I will be let like in a real world example. Speak to standby, so this is working all good. So check the connectivity if you can ping. So it's working. It's working. All is working. Now, can you ping this router? Of course you can. No ports. So this is the finished task. I'm looking, did I forget something? No, can I ping these two routers? No, I can't. Oh, yes, I can. Now they find the path. Now, next task. I will be configure this cloud and this one interface. So let's go to cloud configuration. Serial 0, this one interface, serial 0. DCL name it 101, name from the router gateway to the router telecom. Router gateway to router telecom. Now here click add. Serial 1, this one interface. Name it 102. DCL name it 102. Name is from router telecom to router gateway. Router telecom to router gateway. Add. So we now added the interfaces. Two interfaces. First one is here. Second one is here. Now you need to connect it from the frame relay. Serial 0. Right, router gateway to router telecom. Here you need to change to serial 1 because it's serial 1 from router telecom to router gateway. Add, and that's all. Simple as that. Simple as that. So I could add these interfaces now, but I will be wait that for the later. I will create IP address and routers, and after that I will be create cloud, or I will first create cloud. I will be first creating cloud. Okay, fair enough. Enable config terminal. Name this router. Host name router gateway. Serial interface. Serial 0/3/0. Encapsulation frame relay. No shutdown. Good. We can see the interface now is up and from another side too. So let's go to the router telecom. Now enable config terminal hostname router telecom interface serial 0/3/0 encapsulation frame relay. No shutdown. Okay, interface is up. This first path is done. Let's move on to another configuration from to connect the DCL. So interface serial 0/3/0 .100 point-to-point connection, prim relay, interface DCL 101, IP address 1,200.208.39. I will be using .1, 205, 205, 205, 205, 52. This is all, and go to the router telecom. Interface serial 0/3/0.102, point to point, prim relay, interface DCL 102, IP address 200.39.2, and set up the IP address, and this is all. Now I need to see its connection is working. It's working. That is very good. So next task is to fix IP addresses on routers. So start from the router 1. We need 4 static addresses for these routers, but I will connect that later with OSPF, so waiting. Interface gigabit 0/0. IP address 192.168.1.1/30 mask. Change state to up. We are needing another site to configure all interface to be up. So let's use interface gigabit 0/0 because this site is 0/0. This one is 0/1. IP address 192.168.2.1. 255.255.252. Now shut down. Now configure this one site from here, from this router. So interface gigabit 0/0, IP address 192.168.1.2. This one interface 1.1 is already taken. We have only not one more IP address, and this is 1.2. 55.55.55.2. Now shut down. Interface gigabit 0/1, IP address 192.168.2.2. Now this one IP address 55.55.55.2. Now shut down, and as you can see, the interface is going up. Next is OSPF. First one, what will be do is to see, can I ping these routers? Is it working? Successful. Good. Successful. It's working. Can I ping from these PCs to this router? Of course I can't. Can I ping from this router to this router? Of course I can, because they don't know from this network. So we'll be using OSPF to connect all of these. Move on with the router 1. Router 1 OSPF. Router OSPF 1. Network. First one, I will be adding VLAN 10, VLAN 2 networks. 68.10.0, 0/0/0.255. Another valve mask is going for OSPF. It's not the same like with the IP addresses. And area 0 default area. Another network will be 20. And after that, need to configure this one interface. So network 192.168.1.0, and here will be mask 3 because of the subnet area 0, and this is all. Now let's move on the router 2. Network router 1, router OSPF 1, network 192.168.10.0, same as the another router command, and he will be already processing up 20. I will be wait 1-2 seconds. I don't want that to interrupt me. Good. Now using the command 2, because I want to configure this one interface for the OSPF, and we need to change here on 3, and that is all. Now need to configure this router from this interface, and this interface. So let's go on. Router gateway, router OSPF 1, network 192.168.1.0, so this one. I will be wait a little bit. Yes, it's working. Already doing job. Now .2, this one. Good. Network, this one. 200, 208, 39, 0, 0 dot. This is 32, area 0. Exit. And need to configure from this one to this one. OSPF. AP address. Wait a moment. Router OSPF first, my boy. Network 200, 208, 39.0. Area 0. He will be immediately .0, .3 because it's the specialty mask, and we get the response here. Now you can save the configuration like that on the real world one, and on all routers you should be saving configuration like that, but I will not now saving that all, because you can save here, and it will be stay in the real world example. You will be losing the configuration, so you will be need to save like that. So let's now take the connectivity. I will be losing now time up a little bit because this exercise is long enough, taking the time. So let's first internet 0/1 to router telecom. It's working. This one, it's working. Yes. This one, it's working. Right. This one is working. Right. This one is working. Should be. Yes. Should be. Yes. But on another way to see how it's working. A real world example. Ping 200, 208, 39.0. Waiting, the 2. I will using the 2. I will be ping this one. It's working. So trace earth 200, 208, 39.2. Now what is showing us that this PC is going through 198, 192, 168, 10.2. This is one router. It will be show real one IP address, not HSRP, but we know that is this one router. And going to 192, 168.2.2. So going to this one router, and going to 200, 208, 39.2, this one. So path is good. very good. If we are using now, if we and reload, saving the configuration, yes. Now ping the, need to go fast. Physical desktop, command prompt, now ping 200 208 39.2. It's working. Tracer 200 208 39.2. Now it's saying us that path is going to this one switch and then going to 192.168.2.2. This one interface. So going from here to this one interface, and then wait, to 108.168 10.3. Yeah, 10.3. So it's taking from this route free switch to this one interface 10.3. Yeah, because this is the second interface. Then going to this one router. This is 102.168.2.2, and then going to this one router. So it's working. If this router fails, this will be taken the internet traffic. So configured is good. Let's ping from this one PC to this router telecom. Not terminal, command prompt, ping 200 208 39.2. As we can see, one ping is going. Timeout, reply. Okay, it's working. So trace earth 200 208 39.2. As we can see, first one step is 168.2.2. This one interface, this one router from here. Second step 192.168.2.2. So again, this one router to 2, and then going to the last point. This is IP address from this router telecom. So it's working. Very nice. But let's end, reload. Yes. Okay, it's reloading. Ping again. Ping 200 208 39.2. Okay, 3 pings we got. So trace earth 200 208 39.2. So going 192.168.20.3. This is the interface. This is interface for the standby interface for before. Now is the active. Going to 168.1.2. This is the IP addresses for the 168.1.2, and then going to this telecom. So this is the path from here. It's working. Now if I type again, for example, and oof, I made a mistake. This one is reloading. Now we can see this one is going from standby to active on the gigabit interface 0/2.10. So that means HSRP is working. I will a little bit speed up the time to get all interfaces up. This is the router 2. Now if I use this one, reload and mistake. Never mind, you need just to go from the reload to end, or this one reload, and this router will be going from standby to active, and this one router will be going from the standby to active on router on VLAN 20, or this one will be going standby or active on VLAN 10. So this is the point of the exercise. If I need help with something, if I want Control C to cancel this one, translating the main, I can't stop this command. I need all time to wait. It's not working for me. I don't know how to end this. I tried all, but it's not working for me. If I'm something type that is not good, just need to wait minute 2 for that, and that is all. So guys, if you are happy with this exercise, please comment or like the video. It's a really good exercise. I'm starting from scratch to the end, so you can follow, you can practice, and I hope so that you like the video. And in future probably I will be creating more videos, 2 or 3 more videos. I will be see. And thank you all for the watching, and bye.